Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new video. So I made a video a few days ago about Argentina's claim to the Falklands Island, or some people call it the Malvinas Island. And the Falklands Island is the western word for it. The British renamed it to the Falklands Island after they colonized it in the 1800s. And back then Britain was a colonial power. And since then they've been losing a lot of countries year by year. But why have they kept hold of Falklands? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one reason is the oil. As you can see from this article, there's oil has been found in the North Falklands Basin and the Southeast Falklands Basins. So most of it still has not been extracted yet. So there is a lot of lost treasure in terms of oil and gas. So that's one of the main reasons why Britain is not going to give it away. The other reason they're not going to give it away is because there's a massive military base there as well. So it's one of the reasons Britain keeps its naval power along the South American seas by keeping a base there. The third reason is Argentina is not a very powerful country. They're not very rich. In fact, a very poor country. They don't have a big military to take back the island of Malvinas, so that is a problem. If it was China, it would have been a different story. As you all know, Hong Kong was part of British territory at one point, and China said to UK, if you don't give Hong Kong back to us, we will take it by force. So Britain had no choice but to give back Hong Kong. They knew they would not be able to keep Hong Kong if China took it by force. So fortunately for UK, Argentina is not very powerful and it can't take back the Malvinas Islands. And another fortune for UK is they're very good friends with America. So America will always back UK like they did in 1980. So in the 1980s there was a war between Argentina and the UK, and America did back UK in many ways, which I'll explain in a bit. Contrary to what a lot of people say that America did not get involved in the war in 1982, but they did get involved in other ways, which not many articles are written about. So first of all, America provided a lot of intelligence because it's America's backyard, so they provided a lot of intelligence. They helped UK in terms of satellite imagery. They gave them a lot of intelligence which actually helped the UK. They also gave British 12.5 million gallons of aviation fuel diverted from US stockpiles, along with hundreds of Sidewinder missiles, airfield matting, thousands of rounds of mortar shells and other equipment. So as you can see, even though America did not directly get involved with the war, they were helping the British in the background. And also, a lot of people don't realize this, but you know, Argentina at the time had a lot of American military, old American military, like weapons and rounds and rockets, etc. So during the war in 1982, America refused to resupply arms to Argentina, or give them arms, or upgrade any of their equipment, or give them any equipments. So that was one of the main reasons Argentina surrendered, because they lost a lot of weapons and they just didn't have the weapons to fight UK anymore, because pretty much they had run out because they were relying on American weapons. This is one of the reasons Argentina does not buy American military equipment anymore, because they don't want to rely on America. They have been diversifying with other countries like Russia, and recently with China as well. There's talk about Argentina buying the latest JF-17 fighter jets, which have been jointly developed by China and Pakistan. They're very cheap to make, but they also have the latest technology. They're very agile. In terms of value for money, these jets are one of the best value for money jets you can buy in the market. And they come with PL-10, PL-15 missiles, which are some of the best missiles produced by China. Very long-range missiles. So they come with these long-range missiles which are beyond visual range, and these planes also come with the latest radars which can spot an F-35 from long distance. So if these radars can spot an F-35 and these missiles can fire beyond visual range, F-35s would be at risk. So Liz Truss has recently come on record to say Falklands Island is part of the British family. I mean, come on, that Falklands is not part of the British family. These are colonial islands which the UK had colonized during the 1800s. And Diego Garcia is another one, and the Rock of Gibraltar in Spain is another one as well. Liz Truss doesn't seem to be very knowledgeable when it comes to the world. She fails to mention that there is a UN Charter, which is UN Resolution 2065, and in there it states that UK needs to immediately start discussions with Argentina about giving back the islands, because this is all comes as part of the colonization legacy, and these countries need to be decolonized as soon as possible. The British would probably say that in 2013 there was a local referendum, whether the people in Falklands wanted to stay British or they wanted to go back to Argentina. And this referendum passed that most people wanted to be British, but the Argentinians as well as the UN rejected it, because all of the people that voted were British citizens or British people as part of the colonization. And what they did as part of the colonization, they kicked out all of the Argentinians from the island. So there's hardly any Argentinians left in the island. It's mainly British people from the colonial days. So why has this issue been brought up now? Because these Falklands Islands have been in territorial dispute with Argentina for a long time, since the 1800s. So why has it suddenly come up on the local news, for example? So a couple of reasons really. Number one, Argentina has joined China's BRI program. And also Argentina supported President Xi Jinping, and they went to watch the Olympics, and they had a massive banquet as well, signed lots of deals. And as part of that deal, China agreed that Argentina has a right to claim over these islands, same way that Argentina said that Taiwan is a part of China as part of the One China policy. So normally China would not get involved in territorial disputes and other countries' internal affairs. China does not care about that and does not want to get involved in all of that stuff, and it's not done that in the past. So why is it doing that today, do you think? Well, for a number of reasons. They've had enough of UK's antagonistic behaviour. They've had enough of UK's involvement with Hong Kong. They've had enough of UK's involvement with Xinjiang, with Tibet. They've had enough of UK's involvement with sending ships in the South China Sea along the Taiwanese Strait. They've had enough of UK's rhetoric on the press. They've had enough of UK's boycotting the Winter Olympic Games. They've had enough of UK kicking out Huawei and other Chinese companies out of UK's investments. They've had enough of UK's, poodle behavior with the US, and whatever the US says or does, the UK people pretty much follow. They've seriously had enough of UK's rhetoric over the years, and simply enough is enough. And Chinese people have said, you know what, enough is enough. You guys want to mess with our internal affairs, we'll mess with your internal affairs. And it's come to that now. Also, you got to look at the AUKUS deal as well, with UK providing Australia with nuclear subs in a way to contain China. In short, London has asked for it and China has simply had enough, and now UK is going to get more than it bargained for, and it's made an enemy out of China, and China's going to start fighting back. So what do you think will happen after all of this? Here's my prediction. As you know, BRI has been signed between Argentina and China, so there's going to be a lot of investments going into Argentina, a lot of Chinese investments, and in order to protect that investment, there's going to be some sort of military base around Argentina for a small fleet of Chinese ships or submarines in the future. And there will come a time when Argentina is powerful enough, has a strong enough military to take back the island, and they will buy a lot of these military planes, as they are buying right now, ships and other missiles, etc. And China will probably arm Argentina, Russia will arm Argentina, the BRI will make Argentina a lot of money, and they will buy a lot of military from that as well. And there will come a time when Argentina says, okay, you know what, we're going to take back the island by force. And they will take it back, and UK will not probably attack and take the island back, because it's different this time. In 1982, Argentina had no allies. They were pretty much there by themselves, while UK had America as allies. But this time Argentina will have Russia and China as an ally, and they'll have ships nearby. So UK will think twice before attacking the island. And if they do attack the island, the Chinese and the Russians will supply arms and weapons to Argentina and also help them with intelligence. So it's not going to be a one-way fight anymore. Argentina will be a lot stronger this time. And if the war escalates and America decides to jump in, you have China and Russia there, for example. I doubt if they will, because how many Americans do you think will want to have a world war with nuclear powers just for the Falklands Islands? How many Americans do you think want to die for the Falklands Island? I'll give you an answer: 0. No Americans want to die for the Falklands Island. First of all, Falklands Islands not even American. They don't even own it. It's British. No American will want to get into war with Russia and China over Falklands. No way, not in a million years. So that's not going to happen. So my estimate is Argentina will get very powerful with all of the latest weapons, gadgetry. There'll be a naval base in Argentina, and UK at that point will be very scared, or think twice before taking back the island once Argentina retakes it. So that's my prediction, but I could be wrong. And in terms of UK, once the Malvinas Islands goes back to the Argentinians, Argentina will start drilling for more oil around those waters, so they'll get richer. Gibraltar of Spain will probably be next, and Diego Garcia of Mauritius will probably be next to go. Britain needs to stop thinking like it's a colonial power, and start listening to the UN charters and the UN resolutions that's been formed. And I think UK is just making more enemies and just making a fool out of itself by pretending that it's a great power, it's a colonial power. The sooner as it realises it's not a great power anymore, the better it is for the world. The great powers now are falling into China, Russia and the Far East. So gone are the days when Britain used to rule the world and Britain used to rule the seas. It's not like that anymore. The sooner they think like that, the better it is for everyone. Anyway, thanks guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye bye.